All right.
We're
We're live.
live.
We're live. Is this our first live together?
I think so.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I feel like I haven't seen you in so long.
It's been a hot minute.
I was going to
Hot.
say, we actually just talked not too long ago, what, like 5 minutes ago in a breakout session? How was
How
that
are?
for you?
It was good. I mean, I love talking to other scoopers. That was one of the main reasons why I loved that Pooper Scooper conference from last year. Just being around people smaller than me, bigger than me, seeing everyone's perspective. It's just amazing the community that this industry is having and is going to continue to grow.
Yeah, I wasn't there, so I'm glad to hear it from you guys. All right. Um, Rick says, "Hey, hey." Rick's in the house. We just seen Rick over in the what is it? It was Pooper Scooper speed dating, right?
Pooper Scooper speed dating.
I think that was so cool. I've never done anything like that before. All right, and then Red Tail Ray says, "Hi, everyone." All right, cool. Well, Tony, I don't have any questions prepared because I just want to I want to catch up. You have had so much going on. Um, I want to save the newest thing that's happening for a little bit later. We can kind of like dive into that. But like, since we talked last, like, what's been going on with you?
Oh, it's been a crazy whirlwind of emotions. I recently quit my day job, actually just released because of your very thoughtful advice, right? I actually recorded my last session with my team, and I recorded that in April. It was super, super emotional for me. And I just recently uploaded that video like 2, 3 days ago called I Quit. And it shares that raw unfiltered emotion of letting go of something that you're comfortable with. I was with that company for 8.5 years. I literally grew up in front of them. It was my first role as a manager, leading a team. I got to learn a lot about myself, about business, and then saying goodbye to all of that to go scoop dog poop full time. It was a scary transition, but it's 3 months later, right? And I'm still here, so can't complain about it so far.
So, like, leading up to that, right? If there's somebody listening that is thinking about quitting their job, like, what was the emotions, the thoughts leading up to that decision to actually quit?
Um, it's one of those things where I worked from home, right? I worked from home for like 10 years at that point. And I started my scooping business in December 2020, and then I started my YouTube channel in July 2021. So 6 months into scooping, I started my YouTube channel. And you know this as a content creator, being a content creator is a full-time job.
Yeah,
I had a full-time job on top of that full-time job, on top of my side hustle of scooping. So for 3 years, I was just burning both ends of the candle to the point where the last 2, 3 years, like at work, I wouldn't even be like I would work, I would log on my computer and I would do what I needed to do, but I didn't care. I would just edit videos, or I would do marketing for my scooping business. Like my entire day and night was consumed with everything else outside of work. And it just got to a point where there were a lot of changes within that company, transitions, um, and I just got fed up with it. I wasn't happy with the job anymore. There's only so much being with a group of people that you love, right? And I love my team. They were my ride or dies. But there's even despite that, even having like a six-figure salary with that job, like I wasn't happy anymore. So that was the primary reason why I decided to quit, because I blew up my business this year, right? I doubled my client size from 70, 80 customers to like 168 by the time I quit my job. And
that's
at that,
amazing.
thank you. And I made a commitment to myself this year, like if I got to 150 customers, then I'm quitting my job. And then I got to 150 customers, and I'm like, shit, now I actually have to quit my job. And and it was super scary. I remember having the conversation with my manager at the time, telling him that I'm quitting, and I was shaking uncontrollably because of my anxiety. Like I haven't felt anxiety like that in such a long time. Like when the last time I felt that kind of anxiety was when like my daughter was born. You know, it was really bad. Um, but then I had the conversation, and that was fine. But then it was just harder telling my employees like, "Hey, I'm leaving," and just seeing their hearts break. They were super happy and ecstatic for me because all of them knew about my YouTube channel, my scooping, and all that. But it it's hard not feeling like I betrayed them, even though I'm not really betraying them, because I'm just doing what's right for my family.
How was that conversation with your fiance? Like, I'm gonna quit and go all in on scooping.
She's been all in on scooping since the moment I told her about my scooping business. We went to Moab, Utah on a trip during like it was in December because I started my business in December of 2020, and like 5 days after I started my Facebook page, I didn't even tell her, and then I just randomly told her, like, it was just bottling up, and then I told her, and she was, like, really excited about it,
Of
and
course.
then I started doing my content creating, and then seeing the reception of that, and then getting all the amazing emails and messages from people across the country, across the world, saying, like, how much I've inspired them, how much I encourage them, how much they love my content, like, all of those things, like, add up to the point where I'm like, maybe I can just do this full time because a lot of people already believe in me. I just don't believe in myself. And that's something that, frankly, I need to get over. It's one of my own weaknesses, not believing in myself.
I think it's like a fault to people that are high achievers because we just never feel like we're adequate. Like there's always someone better. There's always something better. We can always do more, and it's painful. It's so painful when I see people that are just content with just like chilling. I'm like, I wish I could be you, but then I'm like judging them. Like, why are you just so content? Like, you don't got goals? What's going on?
I'm not the type of person to ever sit on my laurels. Like these last couple of months, I've been super depressed. Like after post quit, like
Yeah.
you were right about that. Like you will reach the highest of highs, and then you will reach the lowest of lows. Right. I actually just released a video about this right after my I quit video, talking about like what really happens after you quit, and it made me realize how much I was burning both ends of the candle because like after I quit, like I was super happy, but then I was like in a deep dark funk for 2 3 months. Today and yesterday is like the first time I'm actually feeling almost back to normal, but it's been since April that I wouldn't want to do anything. I wouldn't want to work. I wouldn't want to make videos. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. Just I'd rather just be in bed or on my couch, watch YouTube, eat crappy food, and then just be a potato.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're able to work your way out of that because those funks happen, but because we're human, we can't expect for everything to just always be like hunky dory. So acknowledging that that situation happened and then be like, all right, I'm out of it. Like that's a human thing right there.
And it takes courage
Yeah.
because everyone thinks they're invincible until they're not. Um, I grew up really young, right? I had my daughter when I was 15, 16 years old. So like from the get-go, I felt a lot older, mature than like my age. So it was just always been hard for me to have enough trust in my own ability to like persevere. But I've accomplished so much. I've accomplished more this year with my business than the last 3.5 years combined, with like growth and just marketing and getting to meet people, networking. So like when you go all in on something, then and that's all you focus your energy on, there's no way there's no way you're going to fail. You're 100% going to succeed because that's all you're focusing your energy on. And you have to focus on the right types of activities, the right types of things, and not just waste your time. But if you have concentrated effort and you're working towards something, as long as you're 1% better than you were yesterday and you do that every day, then you will go very, very far.
Yeah, I want to circle back to that in one second, but I want to acknowledge the chat because we got some people in here. We have Brad. He's a Poop Scoop Millionaire member. Hey, Brad.
What up, Brad?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but we have 11 people in here.
Damn.
Yeah. So make sure you ask your questions, you guys. Not only are Tony and I just going to be like chit chatting, but we're here to answer your questions because this is what it's here for. Okay.
All the hard hitting questions.
Yeah.
We're going deep today.
Hard hitting. Actually, I want to circle back. So, how, if you don't mind me asking, how old is your daughter?
She is 16, so she's the same age that I was when she was born.
Okay, because Joshua, we have kids. We don't have kids together, but they're his kids. He had them young, and I'm the stepmom. And my husband is going through a transition right now where he became a dad very young, and he always had to focus on them. And so he doesn't even know what to do with himself right now. We had a conversation this morning. We went for a walk because he's been waking up sick, like sick to his stomach every morning. He's like, I just miss my kids, Erica. I don't know how to help him through this because one, I'm not a biological parent, so I don't have that connection with somebody, and I'm not a dad or a dude. So, like, do you have any tips on like how to, as a man, like how to get through that with
I mean,
your?
honestly, I wish I had a better response for you. Unfortunately, like my relationship with my daughter isn't the best, and a lot of it is because of like outside factors, right? I wasn't a part of her life for like the first 3 4 years of her life because quick backstory, right? Like I had her when I was really young, and then this was when I was living in New York, and then she moved to Utah with her mom when she was 2 years old, and I'm 18 at the time. So I made the decision to not go to Utah, and I went to Rhode Island instead to focus on my career, to focus on school and my education, everything, so I can provide a stable foundation, so I can give her a better quality of life than I had at her age. So the first 3 4 years of her life, I wasn't really there after she was two. And then after I finished grad school, that's when I drove across the country from Rhode Island to Utah to like be a part of her life. And that was in 2014, 2015. Um, so there is something that I lost during that time period. She grew up with like her stepdad. She has an amazing relationship with her stepdad. She doesn't have that amazing relationship with me, and like that weighs on me every single day. Like that part of the depression that I was talking about, a lot of it is because of me wishing the relationship with my daughter was better. But I also know that like teenage girls are mean. They're really hormonal, and like I just have to keep telling myself that in the future maybe things will get better. That's the only thing I can tell myself, because what's the point of living if I think it's always going to be the same shit, right? Like I want to think that I'll have a good relationship with her. So like that's what keeps me going.
I think it takes time for the person to grow up because let's me and my mom, we didn't talk to each other. We screamed at each other from like the age of I don't know, 14 for me to like 18. I was a psychopath. Okay. And there was a lot of issues in our household, and I just didn't understand it until eventually I grew up and I went through experiences, and then something clicked in my head. I was like, as my parents were watching me grow up, I was literally watching them grow up. They didn't know what they were doing. They were first-time parents. And I at that point started to develop some compassion for my parents, and then I started to wanted to have a relationship with them because I understood that they were just trying to figure it out as well.
And I think that's definitely an age thing. It's a maturity thing.
Yeah.
I would love to think that when she's older, she's going to realize, like, oh, my dad wasn't a piece of crap and he was trying his best, but she has to get there on her own accord. If I tell her I'm not a piece of crap, she's not going to listen to me. She has to live her own life experiences. She has to get burned and trip
Yep.
over her own crap before she realizes that we just did our best in that point of time.
Yeah, that's so true because my yes. in good time, it will happen, and then she'll be like, "Oh, dad really did try," and then hopefully you'll have that good conversation. My dad said it was nice when I called and told my mom. I was like, "I get it. Like, I get why you did some things now." Um, I'm not sorry for what I said because at the time I meant it, but, like, I get it. She's like, "Thanks, Erica. I appreciate that because I quit calling her mom. I call her lady." She said that really hurt her. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. We got a lot of comments in here, so let's hit it. Um, Brad says you've inspired many scoopers, which you have. Tony,
Thank
you've done
you.
great. And me. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
I mean, Erica inspired me. She's the only reason why I started a YouTube channel.
I
And
was
now,
thinking about
and now
that.
look at us. You're at 3K subscribers, and I'm almost at 1,500.
Dude, I finally got monetized and I made like 15 cents in one day. I was like, I am freaking killing it over here. I'm so excited.
Just wait until we start having a subscriber war.
You know what? It'll keep us going. It'll keep us on our toes. But I really want to like lean into like the female aspect of entrepreneurship. Like that's what I'm hoping to get like more female subscribers. Because we got these weird emotions going on and things. So it'd be
Is
nice to
that why you released your video about like if you're over 40, make a YouTube channel?
have well that and the fact that there's a lot of content out there for these young people that are creating content and I can't relate to them. I want to see other people that are maybe like a decade older than me talking about like real life experiences because I need help. I need help with certain things in life that my parents really can't help me and I don't really have a social circle that is doing the same things that I'm doing.
That's why it's so important to join masterminds
Yeah.
and
Plug it.
invest your money.
Yeah. Yeah, do you have a social circle, like, around you? I have, like, literally very minimal physical friends around me in real life.
I have like a social line. It's like 1 to 2 people, not a not a circle.
Yeah. Alright, what do we got? Scoop Masters. What does he say? Both of you are absolutely legends to me. Thank you. Your videos and content helped me so much in the beginning when I was getting started out. I don't think I'd be where I am as quickly as I got without you both. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's the whole reason why we do this content is to help others. Like, what's your view on that, Tony?
Um, I think we live in an age where information is a commodity. Whether it's Erica or I, someone else is going to be making content. I genuinely enjoy serving this community. I love content creating. I love video editing more than like my own business at times. So I'm just grateful that through Erica and her content, I was able to exercise this passion of storytelling and content creating. That's something that I've always done like ever since I was a child, right? I used to write all the time. I would write poems or I would write just little screenplays for school. I love to create, and being a content creator gives me that avenue. I just happen to talk about dog poop, but if I was in a different industry, if I was doing something else with my time, I would most likely be doing content creating about that subject matter. But the thing you need to remember is if you ever plan on doing content, don't, this might be counterintuitive, but don't do content that you're passionate about that's also like your job, because eventually it'll get to a point like as a content creator, it's a grind, and you don't want the thing that you're passionate about to be something that you feel miserable doing. So I love scooping and I love talking about scooping. I love talking about business stuff, but I only talk in the context of being a scooper. Um, but I love creating more, right? So like I don't mind spending 80 hours for like a 10-minute video because it's my passion. But if I hated doing it, then you hate doing the content creating. Plus, it's with something that you used to love and now you hate. Then you're just going to be in a bad spot.
How are you balancing doing content, scooping, and running your business? Like,
Um, I wasn't like I was floundering for the past
Yeah.
3.5 years. Maybe not floundering because like I survived, but it's long hours. It's working until your hands are physically exhausted from like my hands are still jacked up from my first year of scooping, like with
Mhm.
trigger fingers and stuff. But then like with editing, because of the extensive editing that I do, um, that wears on your hand. So like I would work until like my hands are cramping, and then I would have to stop for 2 or 3 days, which is not it's not scalable, and you shouldn't. I don't recommend anyone doing that, but I did what was necessary to be where I'm at today.
Yeah, the content thing, like last year, a lot of people were sending me messages. They're like, "Hey, we love the podcast. Thank you so much, but are you gonna do like other videos?" And I couldn't. Like I don't think last year I made maybe a handful of other videos other than the podcasting. And I just it was easy. Like it was easy to podcast. I was building up that like repetitive thing.
Muscle
And then
memory.
yeah, and then I was able to like focus on my mental health because I quit drinking last year, which was huge. And my mental health was a freaking wheel. Like the food.
So not to alarm you, Erica, you sound like a robot right now.
Am I not robot now?
Okay, you sound awesome.
Thank you. My board's tripping over here. I gotta send it back or buy a new
So I
one.
don't know what you said. All I heard was beep beep boop pop pop.
Oh. No, I was just saying, where did I lose you at?
I was more flustered with the whole robot stuff. I can't even tell you.
Okay, all I said was last year is I didn't really make any regular videos because my
Hmm.
mental health was like in the toilet. So I did my podcast and people, subscribers and people were like, "Hey, I love the content, but are you going to make any more of like the videos that you used to make back in the day?" And I couldn't do it. Like my mental health just was not letting me. And so
That's
now
exactly how I felt. Not to interrupt, but
yeah,
that's exactly how I felt because, like, the style of content that I used to make, frankly, like super highly edited, a lot of storytelling, a lot of hours, like literally 80, 90 hours into like a 10-minute video. And because our industry is so small, like I spend that 80 hours and then I get like 200 views. It's a dedicated 200 views of people who love my content, but it's 200 views. It's all vanity metrics,
yeah.
so it is easier to like do a live stream or to repurpose something that's 2 hours long into bite-sized pieces. But now I'm back in like my creative groove, and like I have a bunch of killer videos I'm planning on making.
It's one of those things where you have to, like, remind yourself, like you said, it's t only 200 views, but they're dedicated, and
Mhm.
we're literally helping people change their lives, and so it's like, you have to remember that that holds so much more weight than people that really just don't even care about your channel. They're just there to talk crap about you or spy on you or whatever it is.
And I have a lot of competitors that just spy on me now.
Oh,
That's
what
what and that's what I know, right? It's counterintuitive. Like I can't really complain about competition watching my videos because you and I were making everyone's competition harder and smarter and more efficient. And like that's just part of the game because like I said, if we don't do it, someone else will. And it's just the nature of society and info marketing right now.
yeah. Um, Red Tail Ray said, "Thanks for doing this, you guys. Inspiration." And then he said about Steven Simmons in Utah. Oh, you guys
Yeah.
met up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
met I
you guys
met
met
Justin. Yeah, I met Justin. He's awesome. It was great to hang out with him. We went to a Korean barbecue place, I think. And it was just great to catch up with another scooper and seeing his point of view. It was really nice seeing you, Justin.
That's so awesome. I talked to 3 scoopers here. I talked to Christine McKay. She owns, Puppy Poo Patrol. Then I talked to Turd Burglar, which is Jamie, and then, this Doggy Scoops. They've been around for years, and they have, like, all the major contracts. Like, they're killing it, and I'm like, "Dang, I wanna know how to do that." But yeah, everybody's been super nice, except for I do have one dude that lives about 45 minutes from me. He completely, like, ripped my entire website and then blocked me on social media.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
And
So
I will be politically correct about it.
Mike is in the house. What up, Mike? That speed dating was cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was. All right, what else we got? Scoop Master. Since you both make content plus pooper scoopers, if anyone waves a magic wand tomorrow and turns you into a $1 million scooper or $1 million content maker, and you had to choose one, which would you choose?
It's a good question.
Oh,
You can go first.
okay. Here's the thing. I've been out of the field before completely. When I'm out of the field, I feel like I'm out of touch. And so with the content, so if I wanted to keep creating pooper scooper content, I feel like I would need to still be in the field a little bit. So I don't know. I
Or
would
you
be,
just pivot your content to be more operator role than solo scooper.
yeah, I'm not there yet. So I can't even like really imagine that because that's where I'm really struggling. I am struggling getting past that like third employee because every time I get to that third employee, I glitch and then something happens and then I let them go or they quit and then I'm back in the field. So that's really what my next goal is number 6. I want to get to 6 scoopers, 6 full-time scoopers.
I'm just trying to get to one.
Well, when are
It's
you going
me.
to do that?
I don't know. It's me and Ashley scooping. We got a wedding to pay for, so we got a lot of dog poop to pick up.
I'm really excited about your wedding.
Hopefully you go.
I am.
No pressure. I'm not calling you out in front of the internet.
No, I am. Like your invitation is on my refrigerator and I already have it planned because I'm going to be in Louisville, Kentucky. So we're going to fly into Louisville because we're going to be there for another event and then we're going to fly from there to you. And then we'll go home afterwards.
And then we're gonna do a maybe a live stream live, both of us in the same camera shot instead of side by side.
I'm going to cry when I meet you and Ashley.
I'm gonna cry too.
This is going to be so good. All right.
Uh, but to
What's your
answer the
answer?
Scoop Master, honestly, like I would probably do more content creating, and it's not necessarily just videos. Like there's so many different avenues you can go through when it comes to info marketing in general. Like I have a newsletter called the Scoop Report, right? That's content creating. I love being able to speak directly to my community about the stuff that I am going through with my own business. Um, I love that so much that I would much rather do that than scooping, but both avenues are like perfect because we have the luxury and freedom to do what we want, even though like as a small business owner, like everyone wants to start a side hustle and start their own business because they want more free time, and the reality is you don't get any more free time. You have less free time until you pass this hump and then you hire 6 people.
Seriously, that was the number because when the accident happened, I became a little bit depressed too, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm done. I hate this business. I hate how I operate everything. So I was in my bedroom and I was doing my makeup, and I opened up my Bible, and then I read some verses, and I just started like praying on it, and I was like, you have to figure this out. Like, what are you going to do? And so I was able to calm myself and I was like, number six. Because once I get to that point, that's when I can have a general manager or a field technician in there to help take some of that pressure off me. So then I'm able to be freed up and to focus on the things that I'm actually good at and want to do. Because as you know, like when we're at the position right now, we're so divided. Our time is like spent everywhere and it's exhausting.
And you'll probably have to raise your prices even more.
Yeah, I have another price increase going. Me and my VA have actually been working on that for the past month because she said she doesn't want to have
It
to
takes
do
you a whole month to do a price increase.
well to talk about it and figure out like
A whole month. That's not something that shouldn't take a whole month. You can compress that time into a couple hours.
no, mm-mm. It because we needed to adjust some stuff from last time. Like My large rates, like my large yard rates, I needed to figure those out because those are priced crazy.
Like you're doing the FU money, hoping that they go away.
Yeah, but they still accept it. So I have some accounts that are like $300.
I wish.
Eh,
I've had some really big yards that I fired recently just because it's people that don't appreciate you, that leave their dogs out when they're super aggressive, that
mm,
I yeah, so I actually don't mind firing people. I've been firing a whole bunch of people now. It's funny, like you get to a certain point and like you really stop caring when it comes to your customers. Not like the number of customers you have. Like I wish I kept everyone, but I also value my time and my safety and my fiance's safety than the $150 someone's gonna give me.
yeah, that's true. And it's nice to like I don't know. I'm at the point now where my virtual assistant is like doing all my like bill collecting. And so I'm kind of like a little bit removed from talking to the customers as much. And then with Crystal servicing them, I had a lot harder time when I was there at the yard. I was able to see them. So now when I have to let somebody go, it's like I feel bad for a moment. And then I'm like, I don't care. Whatever. This is the reason why they got let go. Like there's always a reason why. You just don't let a good customer go, unless
I always just say it's because we are not a good fit for them. I always
yeah.
put it on myself.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, so Brad says, I have better today than yesterday tattooed on my forearm as a reminder that you don't have to be perfect. Trying to improve and be a better person today than you were yesterday can be huge.
Hmm.
I love that. I do.
That's a really good quote.
That's a good one. I need to screenshot that. Hold on. Brad, I think you're going to make the YouTube channel officially in a thumbnail. Mhm. All right, cool. What else do we got? You guys got questions. Let's ask some like hard hitting questions for Tony. Let's do
I
that.
mean, if they just want me to be vulnerable the whole time, I can do that.
I like that too because it really shows the other side of the business. Because a lot of people just see the happy go lucky, the smile, the edited version. They don't see like the behind the scenes of like what really happens on those days where you like, I just want to shut it down. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get out of bed today.
Especially a lot of like the newer people in the industry, like they'll watch one of our videos, like look at the thousands of dollars that we made, and you think it's just all sunshine and rainbows, and it's not. It's hard work. It's 105 degrees outside today,
Oh.
super sweaty, super smelly with the poop. It sucks. It's stressful when you I've been bitten twice now. Like it's not fun, but it's also the best decision I've made.
So I know about the butt cheek bite. What was the other one?
I went into a customer's yard, and their dogs were outside. And Ashley has scooped their yard before with the dogs in the yard, and they didn't do anything. So two of the dogs came at me, and they were perfectly fine. But then the big ass mean dog was super like not happy that I was in their yard, and the two nice ones, they come up to me and like they're smelling me, and then the third one, he comes up to me and I put like my hand out. Like I always put it as a fist because if you put it as a finger, they can bite your finger off, and I don't want that. So I always put it as a fist, and like he just munched right on my knuckle, tore my new work glove up, and then like I had my middle knuckle just like all fat and swollen. He didn't puncture it; it was just like a really deep pinch.
Mm.
Um, but I was more pissed off about my gloves being ripped than actually being bit. It wasn't unlike nothing like the first bite because that first one was just a out of body experience. I was so scared, but this
Mhm.
one I was like, you. I'm not gonna curse, but I definitely cursed at that dog. And then I told the customer, she was like, "Oh my god, that's never happened before. I'm gonna check the cameras to see what got them all worked up." Really? You're gonna check the cameras like I was instigating your dog? No, you're gonna see your two dogs come to me, love on me, and then your third one just attack me. That's what you're gonna see.
So what happened? Did you let them go?
She was a good customer, so she was like, moving forward, let's just have you knock on the door to make sure the dogs are inside. And I'm like, whatever. And
Mm.
that's what we do. And frankly, like I still don't even knock on the door. Like we'll just go in the yard, and if the dogs are outside, then we'll just back out. Because I had the opportunity to back out. I just chose not to because I wanted to see if the dogs were fine, and they were not fine, and I got bit.
Have you ever been humped by a dog in the
I get
backyard?
I get humped by my dog, but not not customer
So,
dog.
hold on. So I would we'll get to this question in a minute, but I was in a backyard and the homeowner's son let their dogs out and they have 4 dogs. Okay. There was 3 little ones and then a big Rottweiler, like an aggressive one. So the little ones came out, they're like yapping at me, and I'm just like, what the heck's going on? Then the rock comes out and just starts growling and barking. But then this other Frenchie type dog, bulldog, is just going to town on my right leg. As this other dog, there was just a lot of stimulation going on. I was like, oh, I don't even know what to do.
Stimulation is not the correct choice of words here.
No, I was overstimulated at the time. I was like, this is nuts. So then the kid comes out, he's like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Can you just get the dog? Like, get the dogs back in the house, please?" Because I was afraid to move. Like, I froze. Like, I froze at that moment. Then the grandpa comes out and he's just like, "What's going on here?" And then he's like rubbing his chest as he's talking to me. And I'm like, "Can you just get your dogs in the house, please?" Like,
Gross.
so he finally gets him in. And then I ended up letting them go eventually because I found out because then I was talking to my scooper and then my scooper because I told her that exact story. And then she told me that he comes out and rubs on his like nips as well while making inappropriate comments to her. I said, "Why didn't you tell me?" She's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "All right, he's got to go. Like, we're done here."
See, like that's something I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna experience, but like I've never experienced anything like that. And I think that 100% has to do with like you being a female and I'm a
Yeah.
guy. And that's just with society, unfortunately, at large. There's a lot of gross people out there, guys and girls. Like I worry about that with like Ashley. Like, what if she gets in the yard and there's a guy who's like super aggressive?
Hmm.
I know she'll mess him up with that corona rake. She'll smack him up and like run away, but still, that's something I don't worry about that. No one's gonna come to me and try to corner me in the back of the dog run.
Yeah. You just have to be super aware and if something does happen, you have to handle it, like, immediately, and especially as an employer, if you start hiring females, like other females, you have to protect them, they have to feel safe with you, and so, I
Yep.
sent a letter immediately to the woman that hired me and let her know exactly the incidences and what happened, and how this is unacceptable. Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Elijah Evans says, recently became enamored with the scooping business. Made up my mind to start this. What I'm going to do. Starting from step 1, what are 3 things you think I should focus on to get my first customer?
You want me to go?
Yeah, you take this.
So, 3 things that you'll want to do is make sure that you start a Google business profile. A lot of the customers that you will find is because of them Googling dog poop pickup service near me. So, having a Google business profile will be super important for you to show up on those search rankings. Make yourself a Facebook business page, start posting on it, start posting in free community groups, buy, sell, trade groups. A lot of those public groups, they have specific rules on self promotion. A lot of them don't allow you to self promote. Some of them allow you to self promote only one time a week or on a specific day. So you'll need to make sure to follow those specific rules. And the third one on getting your first customer, honestly, is reach out to your own current network, right? You have a smartphone, you probably have hundreds and hundreds of people in your contact list from all the texts you've sent, all the emails you've sent, you'll find at least one person who has a dog, and then you can offer them saying, "Hey, I'm starting a scooping business. I want to offer you my service for free just so I can get my practice in exchange of me doing the service for you, please provide me a review and allow me to either film or take before and after pictures. And that way you can build your marketing assets for your business and you'll have that social proof. It sucks giving away your service, but if you're brand new and you don't know how to advertise or market, then your service is worth nothing. So you might as well get the experience, offer it for free, but build that goodwill with like your community, getting those reviews and serving the people who actually need it. And then with time, with repetition, more and more people will know about you, and then you can start charging what you are worth.
That was good. I like that. All right. You got anything else to add to that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I like everything that you said. Post in those groups. If you can try to like send the group mediator a message, if you can develop a relationship with them, you can get away with some more with posting in the groups. They'll let things slide or let things stay up there longer. That's a little tip. And then in the beginning, when I first got started, I had more time than money. So I always rolled around with the magnets on my vehicles. I bought some magnets from Vistaprint, and anybody that would listen, I told them about my business. I'm Erica Crouppen. I'm the owner of Crouppen's Poopin' Scoopin', which is a dog waste removal business, and I scoop dog poop. And then I would just wait for the awkward, like, wait, what do you do? And then I would just go into my spiel, and I was shameless. I was literally shameless about it. I didn't
And you
care.
have to be.
Yeah, I would, and I just, yeah, I told everybody, and then I would drop off. Like I had these little flyers made from Vistaprint. They were super cheap, but I went into every single like pet store or pet related place that was in like a 5 mile radius of my house, and dropped off those business cards and the flyers, and then some donuts. Said, "Hi, my name's Erica. Here's my spiel. I have business cards and donuts. Can I leave both of these here?" And I just did that 2, 3 times a week. That's how I got a lot of my customers right there. And then the buy, sell, trade groups. And then once I started to get some more customers, then I could put some money into like, at that time, I want to say boosting Facebook posts was pretty good. So then I would boost things that really weren't even about my services. It was just this one did really well. It was the temperature, like the hot paw on the asphalt for the dog paws. That one did really, really well. And then it got a lot of shares. And then what I did is I went into the people that heart and liked it, and I invited them to like my business page. And that helped me get more followers. And then in turn, I was able to advertise to those people.
That was back in the day, though.
That was. And so,
So I wouldn't, I mean, everyone can do their own style of marketing. I don't recommend boosting any post on Facebook now. It's 100% all done via Facebook Meta Business and using their ad manager to either schedule or create your own ads. Don't boost a post. You're just burning money away.
yeah, I haven't boosted a post in oh God, I want to say maybe 2 years, maybe. It's been a long time. Okay. So there's that. Stephanie says, hello.
Stephanie Hart, here you go.
Stephanie, I want her on the podcast. She's going to block me. She's going to be like, this lady messages me one more time.
I love Stephanie.
Her and I got to talk. We talked for a few hours the other day on the phone. I didn't want to get off the phone with her. I'm like, she's just so insightful and so genuine. Like
She's super real.
yeah, I love talking to her. It was great.
And she has such a big organic following because she
Yeah,
hasn't been able to do any Facebook advertising. It's just all word of mouth.
it's true. She's really good about making those posts, especially like going back to Elijah, organic post, right? Just being shameless, posting about your business every single day on your personal page and on your business page. If you have more followers on your personal page, that's the place to post, because if you only have like 4 or 5 people on your business page, the likelihood of anybody seeing it is like super low. So,
And like Facebook identifies if it's a personal versus a business page. And if unfortunately, this is just the way they have their platform, but if it's a business page, even if you have 500 followers, they're not going to show all 500 of your followers your organic post. But if it's a personal account, yeah, you're mixing business with personal stuff, but you will have more reach in the Facebook algorithm. That's just unfortunately that's just they make you pay to play now.
yeah, it's so different from when we started. Um, Courtney wants to know, what has been the hardest part of being a business owner and growing your business?
I'll let you go first. I got to think about it.
They listen to me talk all the time. This is about them.
They listen to me all the time too.
All right,
Hardest part of being a business owner.
I'll let you
Let-
think on it. I'll go.
I was about to say something. I mean, honestly, for me, is struggling with like my own beliefs. But something that I've learned a lot because of the marketing conference that I went to a couple of months ago is trying to compress the time between the initial thought of an idea and the execution of that idea. So that's something that I've been working on very, very hard. Like if I think of something that I really want to do, like I immediately write it down. I have a notebook here with all these action items, stuff that I've been like crossing off, just things to keep, things to remind me of like this is what I need to get done. Um, because a lot of the failure with business owners and in life in general is inaction.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what needs to be done. You know you're not supposed to eat Twinkies in the middle of the night. You know you're not supposed to smoke cigarettes. You know XYZ, but it's like your behavior of not doing it. And that could be a lot of it, honestly, is because you don't have the proper motivation, right? If something is really burning a hole in your pocket, if you really want to do something, like you'll do it and nothing's going to stop you. But if you just write it down, you say, this is what I want to do, and you're not doing it, then obviously you don't want it bad enough. And like that's frankly the truth. Like you have to work on the things that need to get done to get anywhere in life. So you have to think through like what are your core values? Why are you doing this in the first place? Is it to provide for your family? Is it to have more time? Is it for retirement? Like whatever your reason is, and most of the time people will say like it's because I want more money. But well, how many millionaires and billionaire videos do you have to watch where they all say, yeah, at a certain point, like money, like it's nice having all this money, but it hasn't done anything for me. Like I'm still as miserable as I was before all this money. And you just got to do this stuff. So for me, it's inaction and just struggling in believing in myself.
Yeah, I think that's super relatable. Um, with me, I just get lazy. I get content. I'm like, my basic needs are met. My husband makes good money. The business is running. I still get my nails done. I get to go on vacation, get my Botox, whatever. And so I do. I get kind of like, I'm
That
like,
bougie life.
right, right. I'm like, I don't need to push any harder. Like, what do I need to push for? And then I want to like hang out. Like I want to hang out with my husband. He's got a 9 to 5 job. So he gets to go to work, he gets to come home, and then so the time's like divided because it's like I want to push, I want to go, I want to do stuff, but then I get like jealous because I see other people like having leisure time, and I'm like, okay, well, I can have leisure time. But then I think about like, oh, I got the leisure time, but now I'm not growing my business. And then I start beating myself up. Then I start having the negative thoughts. And then it's like a spiral. Um, so I had to really get like you said, like what's your why? What's your core values? I had to literally change who I was last year. I became a total different person last year. I got rid of the booze. I had to change my diet. I got right with the Lord. Um,
You stopped
and
dyeing your hair.
yeah, I quit dyeing my hair, all of it. My hair has never been healthier, by the way.
It looks really great.
Thank you. I it's weird to see my natural hair color. I don't know why I ran from it for so long. Um, you know what it was? It was because I wasn't comfortable with who I was. Growing up, I've never liked the way that I looked. I've always thought that I was overweight. I always compared myself to like other people. And I'm finally like comfortable in my own skin of like who I am. And I finally like love myself for the first, literally for the first time in my life. And it's weird. It's weird to actually like hold my head high and truly believe in myself.
And
Uh,
it's weird that you're saying that's weird because that's society, right? So many people are unhappy with themselves that it's weird that someone is actually comfortable with themselves. Like you're the outsider in society, that you're actually happy with yourself. You found a higher power or whatever.
yeah.
Like it's just interesting that um our society is setting up a lot of people for failure when we should be rising up together.
Well, then it's like the flip side, right? Where it's like, "Oh, you're cocky. You think you're better because like I got this in my personal life. I have a couple people in my personal life that are just like, "Oh, you got your channel, you have your poop scooping business. You think that you're better." I'm like,
But that's the thing. You are better, and there's no shame in saying that. How many people
but
you you know this though? How many people have reached out to you over the years saying, "I've been watching your video for years, and I'm thinking about starting a business," and it's been years, and they still haven't. Like
yeah.
if you want something extraordinary in your life, what's that word? Extraordinary. You
Mhm.
can't do what everyone else is doing. Why do they call them the 1%? Because 99% of the people don't do the stuff that they do.
I still struggle with it, man. I hide. I literally hide my accomplishments. I downplay a lot of it when I talk to certain people because I don't want to hear the oh must be nice. And so honestly, listen, this has just been recent. Just recently, I'm finally like, you know what? Yeah, I have a healthier marriage. I have a great husband because I chose a good man. I have nice things because I don't blow my money on stupid stuff and I reinvest. I have a business because I do the boring stuff every single day, day in and day out. It doesn't matter how I feel. So, yes, I have all of that. And I am unapologetic about it. And this just recently happened within the last 6 months that I've been able to do that.
Good. I'm
Whew.
proud of you.
Thank man, that was tough. All right, moving on. Um, TJ wants to know how are you guys generally doing your price increases?
For me, I typically just do price increases before the busiest time of the year for spring rush. Especially like if I know I'm going to have an influx of customers and a percentage of them will onboard for recurring services, then I just increase the prices of either my initial cleaning or my recurring services by like $1 or $2. So I doubled my business in like 40 days this year from 80 customers to like 168 customers from like February to April. So like
How
all the
did
new
you do that?
um honestly it was just Facebook advertising, but I've worked very hard on like my referral program and the welcome package that I provide to customers with branded doggy bags and informational dog health reports and a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of other goodies. So I think it's just the buildup of the last 3-4 years, like growing Salazar scoops and like being out there, like it all came to a head this year, and then I just threw money at marketing to try to get myself in front of as many people as possible. Um, so everyone that was brand new, like I put them all on like my higher prices for recurring services. All my current customers, um, I still haven't done price increases on them, and I still have the highest prices in my state. So I know I need to, but I'm still okay because I know I'm getting paid per customer more than like everyone else in my state. And I'm never, ever, ever going to race to the bottom. I don't care if you want to charge less than me. I'm going to charge double than you, and I'm still going to get more customers because that's just how business goes. People pay for what they value, and the people who make purchasing decisions because of price and not value, like sure, you'll get a lot more customers, but a lot of them are going to cause headaches. They're going to be up your ass all the time compared to the people who just want to know that they're being taken care of and that you're consistent and you're keeping the gate closed. Like, yeah, I'll make sure to do all of that for an additional like $10, and people are paying for it. I think, and this is something I've talked about for years now. I think overall this industry is super undervaluing themselves, and everyone should just raise their prices by 20%. It'll make everyone happier.
Yeah, and you're staying ahead of the like inflation curve if you keep raising them like that. Typically, it depends on how low you are. Um, how did I go about doing it? I said I want to increase my prices, and I didn't want to be going to anybody's house for any less than $20 per service. And so I just did my base price was 20 times 52 divided by 12, which gave me $87 for the month. And so that was my base price for one dog, standard size yard. And then I just based all of my other prices off that. Um, this year, I want my base price to be $100 per like base price. So that's what my new prices are going to be based off of, and then
I
I'll
wish.
tier from there.
I wish.
Well, because then
Even
I we can do less, right? We can do less.
oh, 100%. I'm just saying I wish I could do those higher prices. Like this just cut the Utah market is really weird. I don't know if it's an awareness thing. I don't know if I'm just not advertising to the correct avatar. That's something that I'm hyper focused on, trying to find these higher LTV customers that I can spend more to acquire them, but I know they're going to give me more in the long run.
Yeah, I sat down yesterday and calculated my churn rate and did all of that. I'm trying to be super intentional about making sure that I'm collecting that data because that's something that I haven't done, and I'm just kind of like willy nilly, like
And unfortunately, that's not something that's easily tracked with Jobber.
nope. But they're working on it. They said they're working on it because I'm like, you got to do it. You have to make this stuff easier for us to be able to find this information and to track it, or you have to have a feature within there. So I hope that they'll have that eventually. Hopes. All right. Stephanie wants to know what's your advice with growing the commercial accounts? I feel like this is right up your alley. And if you want to talk about why this is up your alley and what you got going on.
So I actually just published a new book. I'm a published author now. Amazon. I got 5 stars on Amazon, and it's called "What Every Property Manager Needs to Know About Effective Pet Waste Management." So
Buy
the
your
idea
book
about
today.
I actually posted the link in the chat, so go check it out if you want to see what I'm working on. But the idea around this book is it's positioning me as an authority figure. It's also providing value to property managers because I give them tactics and advice, proven strategies on how they can manage their pet waste issues on their property. But essentially, this is just a really long sales letter that's helping them out, but also giving them the information to contact me and to take the next step to either reach out for a quote or for me to do an on-site estimate. So in the past, and this is what everyone always wants to know, like, how do I get more commercial accounts? Like, it's really hard to get commercial accounts without they have to find you first, right? So the biggest thing is focusing on like your SEO and targeting commercial pet waste removal as like keywords, and then like advertising on social media, targeting like property managers. And that's what everyone is doing. But what are other ways you can advertise to that audience, right? You're looking specifically for property managers. Well, now I can make uh ad campaign saying, hey, we offer commercial pet waste removal. That's one campaign that I can do. But now I can also do another campaign promoting this book, offering this book for free, which is what I'm doing. I bought 200 copies of my own book, and I go to trade shows specifically for property managers and apartment complexes. And I'm going to give this book out for free to all the attendees who go to my booth. Say, like, hey, are you a pet friendly community? Oh, you are? I have this amazing resource for you that's going to help alleviate a lot of the issues that you have with your dog poop problem. Please have this on me. I build goodwill with them immediately. I don't even have to like service them. They get a book that has my information, all of my phone number, my email, my website. They get value, and it just helps me continue to build that brand authority in my area. So like that's my strategy behind the book. I'm super excited about finally having this published, and like there's going to be a bunch more books that I'm going to be writing. So stay tuned for that.
What was it like writing the book? Like, what was that process like?
Um, I mean, hard. It takes time, like with anything. But I've been part of this marketing community for like a year now, called Magnetic Marketing, like under Dan Kennedy. And like one of the biggest things he talks about is, if you want to be taken seriously as a business owner, like you have to write a book. And like my book isn't that crazy. It's only 68 pages long. The font's really really big. If you can, you can't really see it, but like the font size is pretty big. Um but just writing something, whether it's like a 5-page information packet. A lot of people in our industry and industries in general, they're always doing advertising, promoting their services, right? But what a lot of people don't do is they don't do lead generation advertising. So offer something to your community, offer something to your ideal avatar where it's not necessarily your service, but something of value that they would still want. And anyone can do like a book or a small information packet, or I don't know, like you can work with a veterinarian and identify like what are the top 10 pieces of food that will help my dog when they have an upset stomach, right? You can ask a vet that, compile that information into a nice information packet, and then offer that as a lead magnet to your customers. And the people who raise their hand saying, oh, I want those 10 food tips about my dog for an upset stomach, they raise their hand. Now you have the permission to contact them as a trusted authority figure. You come to them as a welcome guest instead of an annoying pest. And then you can start at your follow-up sequences to try to advertise to them any other services, or keep them on your mailing list to promote to them 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. Because the biggest, most important thing with any business, right, is, and I keep saying this over and over, the most valuable asset in your business is your customer list. The more
Yes.
you have on your customer list, the more you can advertise to a specific group of people that raised their hand at one point in time, right? Just because they said no to you today doesn't mean they're going to say no to you tomorrow. They might say no for the next 2 years, but then one day you do another follow up with them and they're like, wow, I actually do need this service. And because you captured their information in the first place, that's then like they'll start working with you. So, long story short, like it was hard writing the book. It took me about a month to write it. Like I had ChatGPT help me with like the structure of what the chapter should be, but I would say like 90 to 95% of the book, like I wrote using that structure and then doing all the editing. I had to I got a designer on Fiverr to help me with the front and back cover, and then I use something called Amazon Kindle Publishing, where you can self-publish on Amazon Kindle Publishing. They'll ask for the entire transcript of your book along with like your cover art, and then they'll do their checks and balances. I actually asked for you asked for like proof samples, right? So this is actually my very first version of the book, and you can see like the margins are messed up, and I
Mm.
actually had like a bunch of typos in this book. So then I had to make a second version where like I fixed the margins. I actually made the text a little bit smaller because in the original book it was super close to the binding. So there's a lot of trial and error with that. But after that, every each one of these books is only costing me $2.40 to create. So for $2.40, I can give a valuable resource to a property manager, and now they'll have something physical on their desk forever to contact me if they ever need to, or to give this to someone, right? We ask our customers like, "Hey, can you give me a referral to whoever you know?"
Mhm.
Asking customers for referrals is probably one of the hardest things that you can have a customer do, because when you're asking them to do a referral, they have no idea what you're asking of them. Because think about it, they have to have a conversation with someone that they trust. And in the middle of that conversation, that person has to say something that triggers your customers to say, "Oh, by the way, I actually have someone who can help you with that." And that almost never happens. But if
Right.
you give them something physical, instead of saying, "Hey Erica, can you refer me to your friends?" You can say, "Hey Erica, here's this book for you. If you know anyone who would love my help, give them this book. It'll give them a lot of value, and then have them reach out to me when they're ready." That's a lot easier for customers to digest, instead of having them be your salespeople.
Okay, Stephanie, I don't have a book. Tony's is way more in depth. I reach out to commercial people and ask like the people that I have. I ask them if they have any other referrals because I don't have anything physical. And so that's how I was able to build my commercial accounts. I landed one and I said, "Hey, by any chance, do you know any other property managers or anybody else that'd be interested in my service?" And then they gave me a couple contacts. That didn't happen right away, but I still have a small, like a small section of my business that is commercial. So it's not super large. I have under 5 commercial accounts. So. Okay, we have a lot of questions in here. We might have to run through these kind of quick because I actually have a date with my husband here. I
Damn.
know.
You
I
don't have
know.
hard stops with everyone, but you have a hard stop with me? That's messed up.
Listen, I'm trying to work on my marriage and spending time with my husband. And so this is something that I'm trying to be more intentional with because as you know, it's easy to get lost in the business and it's easy to get lost in the content creation. And then I don't spend any time with my husband. And that's not fair to him.
I
So
mean,
that's
I'm not gonna say anything to that.
I know, man. That's just something. Yeah, it's reality of it. We have to, if we have a partner, if we have kids, we have to be able to figure out how to do it all. And we do. I mean, I drop the ball in several areas on a daily basis. But today, I said we're gonna walk around downtown by the office and spend some time together.
Cute.
Okay. All right. So Brad, hold on a second. Brad wants to know about do we scoop our own yards? Do you scoop your own yard?
Hell yeah, I do. I hate dog poop in the yard.
Okay. I do not scoop my own yard. I have it on route for my staff members. As soon as I started hiring, I put my yard on route.
Wow.
Okay. Rick wants to know, do either of you price city yards based on size? Do you measure the yard before giving them a price?
So I have a Word document, an internal Word document that has a pricing matrix between like 1 to 7 dogs, and that's an eighth of an acre of a size yard. And then I'll have additional tables showing, okay, if it's a quarter of an acre or half an acre or an acre, I'll increase the price of the service, because a bigger yard is going to take you more time to walk, and then you should charge accordingly. And then if there's gravel, I also charge more if there's gravel. And do you measure the yard before giving them a price? That's something that I always think about doing, because you can use I think it's Google Earth, or there's a Google platform that you can use, probably Google Earth, where you can use a measurement tool and literally plot out um like a shape and get the measurements of the yard. The issue with that, for me, at least with a lot of the cities here, there's a lot of development happening. So when you look at the property on Google Map, it doesn't even show a house. So I
Right.
can't really use that tool. But frankly, like, I'll just give them like a price, and then when I get to the yard and I know it's bigger and it's going to take me longer, I just have a frank conversation. I say like, "Hey, I know I told you 20. It's going to take me 25, and if you want me to do this, like, that's my price." And like, I just learned to just deal with that after the fact, because you'll never know until you're actually in the yard.
No, true. I do the same thing. I have a pricing metrics. I measure the yard. I have my base price set up. And then on that first clean, when we go out, if I go out or my scooper goes out, they let me know if what the yard's like, if it's a more difficult yard, and then I adjust the price as needed. But my prices are pretty high. So it's like I give myself some wiggle room anyways. Because I'm priced on the higher end. Okay. What are we doing to reduce churn and keep the customers for a long period of time?
Prepay, make them pay up front. That helps a lot with churn. Lowering your pricing frequencies, asking people to prepay for longer periods of time. That helps a lot with churn. Honestly, like the biggest thing that I want to start doing in the near future is like creating a physical newsletter. Like everyone wants to do email marketing. Um, I'm a lot more on the physical side of things. So I want to send out a physical newsletter to like my customer list, whether that's my current customers or everyone on my customer list, sending them out a physical newsletter, promoting my services, telling more about my story, giving shout outs to distinguished community members, just helping them feel like they're part of a family, as well as working with referral partners and um, coming up with exclusive deals with your referral partners. So I'm working with a dog salon type place, a dog store salon, and we're doing a referral partnership. So every customer that they send my way, I'm going to give them a commission, and vice versa. But I'm also giving that business is also doing an exclusive offer for my customers. So in my welcome bag, I'm going to have a collection of referral partners where they're all going to be giving exclusive discounts to my customers. That way, my customers feel like, wow, when I'm with Salazar Scoops, I'm actually part of something like special because all these people want to give me a discount or a special offer just for being part of his community. And like that'll help a lot with churn because like when you help people feel valued, then like they'll just stay with you in the long run. And like actually acknowledge your customers. Like one of the worst things that we can do is like we don't even thank our customers anymore. Like we expect like our best customers will be there forever, and most of the time people leave is because of indifference. They feel like we don't care. So if you try to put in a little effort, send them handwritten notes. I know it takes effort to send something to a customer, but hey, Erica, thank you so much for recommending Samantha to me. Here's a $20 gift card to Amazon because you've just been such a great customer. Like that is a story someone can tell and they'll be like, wow, I'm going to stay with them for a really long time because they actually thanked me. Think about like yourself. How many businesses have you done service with this week? And have you received a thank you card from them? Do you feel like you've been slighted by someone or something in life and they haven't thanked you? A lot of people feel that way. They feel like they haven't been thanked for something. And when you acknowledge them, like it goes a long way when it comes to churn and customer satisfaction.
Oh, I like that. I'll add what we do. So when we are on the way to the visit, we send a message, let them know we're on the way. And then afterwards, we send a text message that says, "You've been scooped. Gate is closed and secured. Have a wonderful day." We change that up every once in a while. So we do try to like say, "We appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Have a wonderful weekend." Something like that. So we are staying like um, top of mind with them. So we are in contact. And that has really helped. I mean, I've only lost 3 or 4 people this summer, which is it's huge. I mean,
It's really good.
yeah, have not lost a lot. And the only reason why the people we've lost is because moving and then the dogs passed away. Which whenever the dogs passed away, if it's like more than 1 or 2, I'm like, "Did we do something? Like, what's going on?" I get nervous. And I'm like, "Everybody's sanitizing their equipment, right?" They're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, then I ask, I'm like, "If you don't mind me asking, like, what happened?" They're like, "Oh, the dog was just old." I'm like, "Okay, thank God."
And I never ask. It's typically too raw for them. But something that we started implementing, I found this on Etsy. There are the sympathy cards that you can get where it just says condolences for your furry friend, and it's a sympathy card with like flower seeds that they can actually plant. So Ashley and I, we write a handwritten note saying like we're sorry for your loss and your families and our thoughts and prayers, and like we give them the sympathy card that says for in dedication for your furry friend, and then they have something that could potentially grow into a plant, and it'll always remind them of their dog, as well as remember us. Like, wow, Anthony and his team, they actually gave something meaningful to us. Most customers like don't care at that point in time, but they do remember 5 months from now, a year from now, that you did something nice for them.
Mm. No, I agree. I agree. That's cute. I never thought about doing that. No, I just go straight for it. I mean, I don't just say, "What happened? How'd your dog die?" I'm usually like, "My condolences. I'm so sorry." And then we have a little conversation and I try to figure out like what happened. Because I'm nosy. I don't know. I can't help it. All right. LL wants to know jobber or sweep and go.
You're talking to two jobber ambassadors for Pooper Scoopers. I'm going to say sweep and go at this point. I'm kidding. I love Jobber. Um, I'll ride and die for Jobber. They just got to get some things, get their shit together, for lack of a better term.
They need to work on the reoccurring service section. Like they have a lot of features for the one-offs, but they really need to work on like our business model type.
Or they need to work on better data analytics for people who like number crunching.
Yes, which it's happening. I've definitely seen some things change. I've seen some graphs, which are nice, but I'm like, I want more. Give me more. So yes, jobber. Okay.
100% Jobber.
All right. Red Tail says started routes to accommodate garbage day. Now with more clients needing to do some route density adjustments. Have you had to change the scoop day? Yeah, I've had to change scoop days. I just change them. I say this is what needs to happen. I say this is what needs to happen. This is why and this is how it's going to play out. And some people get upset and they cancel. Some people get upset and they stay and some people are just like, "Okay, cool. Just as long as you show up, I don't care."
The, I struggle more with landscapers coming one day and the customer wanting me before the landscapers, which makes no sense to me because their mowers still don't pick up the dog poop, and I scoop all year long. They're gonna stop mowing your lawn in October, November, right? But for whatever reason, they still prefer their landscapers over their scoopers. Um, I'm at the point where I don't, unless it's a customer that I really like that they take care of me, like I rarely accommodate someone's scheduling change. I tell them like this is your service day. Honestly, take it or leave it because I'm just at that point like I don't care. I do care, but I don't care enough to like change your service day.
So my service area is still pretty small. It's like a 5 mile radius of my house. It's pretty tiny. So I have more flexibility to accommodate. And because my rates are so high for some people, like that one lady that's paying almost $300 a month, I don't care what day I need to scoop her. Like, I'm like, whatever. It only takes 15 minutes to get to your house one way or another from my house. Um, but other than that, yeah, I'm not going to accommodate somebody else's schedule. And if I need to do it for the health of the business, then it's worth losing that person. So then you can get your ideal customer moving forward.
There's over 70 million dogs or households with dogs in the United States. You will find at least 100 people that will accommodate how you want to run your business.
Agreed. Agreed. I think we get so scared, right? Because it's so personal. And it's like when you're smaller, every single penny, every single customer, it counts. But then as you grow in business and you get burned, you kind of get desensitized. And so I do feel like it's important to not get too desensitized and too detached because we still need to care, right? These are people. We're servicing dogs. We still do need to care, but not so much to where you're literally willing to sacrifice your business or your own mental health to accommodate a couple customers that don't care about what
Uh,
you got going
uh,
on.
100%. And Greg Moore says this like brilliantly. He's like, specifically when it comes to like holidays, there are a lot of people who still scoop on holidays. I scooped on the 4th of July, but he says the only people who are going to remember 5 years from now that you didn't scoop on the 4th of July will be your kids and your family. Your customer's not going to remember. So like do what's right for you and your business.
Mhm. No, I agree. I agree. All right, what are you putting in your welcome bags?
Proprietary information. I have like a 2-page welcome letter talking about myself and Ashley, welcoming them to the Salazar Scoops family, talks about the services that we offer. It has a call to action to encourage customers to send pictures of their animals to us so we can do customer appreciation stuff. I also have branded dog accessories that I got from Alibaba, like a collapsible doggy bowl and a poop bag holder with doggy bags, um, door hangers. Um, it all comes in a really large tote bag that's like 4 or 5 gallons. Like it's not like a little rinky dinky welcome bag. Like I'm giving them something of utility that's
It's
branded with my
massive.
logo. It's massive, but people love it. They're like, wow, this is perfect when I go to grocery shopping. So I just throw as much value as I can in that welcome bag. Oh, coupons, because one of the best things to do, like uh, the best way to sell to a customer is selling them something immediately after the first sale. So I have coupons in the welcome bag as well with like this expires in 30 days, but I'll give them like the options to do like the sanitizing or trash debris pickup, or if it's like a one-time customer, I have an exclusive coupon in that welcome bag saying, hey, if you sign up for recurring services, here's a discount that you'll get. This offer expires within X number of days. So stuff like that.
It's dope. I don't have welcome bags, so thank you for that information. Um, have you ever considered white labeling your book? You're like, I just released it yesterday.
I mean, there's always a price for everything, right? But like at this point, I don't know. If you want to buy my book and give it to your customers, 100% you can. I don't know about white labeling.
I'm excited. I can't wait for your book to come in. I'm definitely gonna read it, and I want a signed copy, so I probably should order another one.
I've had
Oh,
a lot of people ask for signed copies, and I haven't really thought that through yet.
I'm gonna
Realistically,
bring mine. I'm gonna bring mine
oh,
to
I'll I'll
Duma.
I'll sign your book in person. I mean, realistically, like it costs $9.99 on Amazon. Like, if someone wanted a signed copy, like I would just ask them to Venmo me. I don't know, like $15 for like just the shipping, and then I can mail them one of the 200 copies that I have, and then just sign it.
Yeah, so that's what I have a couple friends that have books, and that's what they did. So if they wanted a signed copy, you bought it from them, and then they just signed it and then mailed it. I think it was one guy charged an extra $5 for a signed copy, and the other guy didn't charge anything extra. He just made sure that the book was covered and then the shipping was covered, and you got the signed copy.
Hmm.
So, all right. Um,
Jobber
Jobber.
Illuminati.
Yeah, go Jabber. So, this was so much fun. I really appreciate you hanging out with me on a Thursday.
I appreciate you, Erica. I'll always sing your praises. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You are the reason why I started scooping. You've inspired a lot of people. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for finding your little corner of the internet. So you will always have a special place in my heart. And yeah, I just love you, Erica. You're awesome.
Thank you, and I'm just so incredibly proud of you. When you told me that you wrote that book, I was like, "This is amazing." Like, he is amazing and doing such great things. Now I'm like, "I need to write a book."
I have a couple book ideas that I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, let's chat. I got a lot of work that I'm doing on my end to be able to dedicate times to projects and things that I actually wanna do. I actually have a meeting with a woman from church that's gonna sit down with me tomorrow and talk about realistic expectations on time because I'm time blind, apparently. So then I can be better. All right. All right. Well, I hear my husband here. He's doing something with a microwave. So thank you so much.
Are
And
you in your office, your new
yeah,
office?
I am.
Good on you. It looks awesome.
Thanks. It's a little
How
podcast.
far how far is it from your house?
30 minutes.
Damn.
It could be shorter if I took the expressway, but I just shoot down this one main road and I like it because I listen to a podcast, I listen to some music, and I just like, I decompress. I turn on my seat warmers on my truck and get my back all toasty.
Must be nice.
Dude, I'm living the high life over here, okay? I'm cozy. All right.
So so it's nice chatting with everyone. Make sure you check me out, poopscoopsfornoobs.com or YouTube, Poop Scoops for Noobs. What every property manager needs to know about effective pet waste management just released on Amazon. And yeah, I'm here to help the community, help scoopers grow, and thank you again, Erica, for everything you do.
You're so welcome. You guys are awesome. We'll chat next time, okay?
Bye.
Bye.